Hi everybody, this is Sister Omi and I'm here to do this new moon in Aries reading, and this is for the sign of Taurus. Now let's talk about this Aries new moon here in April 2019. This moon brings opportunities for honor, wealth, promotions, good friends, and business success. But first, any fear, self-doubt, pessimism must be overcome. That's what we have to face. It's like, face our fears. And with patience and perseverance and hard work, we just have to be able to push forward. Push, So Taurus, for you, I would say during this cycle, be mindful. Just try to stay calm and carry on. Like some people are good with a lot of pressure and some people aren't. But it doesn't mean you can't stay cool in a crisis. So the trick is not to react to every stressful situation. And don't react as if everything is an emergency. This moon is messing with that fight or flight mode, so you can make a more reasoned or reasonable response. Just don't fly off the handle. Keep your cool. And no matter what happens, be cool. That's all. That's all this is asking. And to face your fears in a cool type of way. So what are the cards? What cards do we have for you? So I'm pushing the table. All right. Let me adjust here. Oops, excuse me a bit there. Okay. Now the first card we have is Oba. Now Oba is a warrior. She's definitely got that fighting spirit, She's very passionate. She's a passionate wife, lover, and a housewife, a professional. She works hard. And she also has a tendency to look after others. Now her story, sometimes with human behavior, it's like she was led by someone. Now let's look at her upright. She was led by someone who told her if she cuts off her ear, if she mutilates herself and follows certain instructions, she'll be able to keep her spouse. A spouse that already chose her. But once he saw that she mutilated herself, he ended up leaving her. So here, you cutting off your ear, you better be careful who you listening to. But this is in reverse. So what we're looking at here is maybe be careful of any accidental cuts. One thing, you don't want to accidentally get cut or have some unexpected surgery or operation. But besides that, mutilation, and there's different ways you can mutilate yourself. We'll look at what she did. She cut off her ear to keep her man. Or let's look at it more pragmatic type of way. You're spending your money on a relationship and you should be taking care of your own bills. You got to take care of yourself. So this is also looking at unhealthy jealousy. In business, maybe you're working someplace and they're closing the branches. There's a lot that could be going on here. But the thing that you have to be very mindful of, sharp weapons. Now, that knife could be the tongue. So be mindful of what you say. And Taurus, what is it? The key we said here is you don't have to react in every situation. So with this, I'm looking at this as be mindful of what you say to people, because it might come back to bite you. The next card I'm getting a lot of, well, I shouldn't say that. This is only the second one I did. So the next one here we have is the High Priestess. Now this is in reverse too. So maybe you're feeling impatient or is stagnant, or maybe there's someone around you. There's a lack of trust. So you definitely be mindful of what you say because you have a lack of trust. So maybe that's why, you're feeling the way you do, or you may say a few things because maybe you're dealing with some people that you don't trust, or you're in a situation where you don't feel in control. And so maybe that feeling of not being in control may spark a certain response. But the thing here is be cool. Just know that this phase will pass. And as we go through this phase, you'll gain more information. Aries, tends to be headstrong. But let's use that information for gathering so that we can make the more appropriate response. Oops, stuck to my elbow. Now, the message card here is the King of Pentacles. And, the king is the king. The king is confident. The king is strategic. The king here, the message is you have a lot to manage, and it's not easy to keep your finger on the pulse of everything. But luckily, you are well seasoned, mature, and prepared for anything. So the only challenge you have in life is balancing your power and strength with humility. So as we said with Oba in reverse, watch what you say. You don't want to cut. Just be humble and gather your information. And it's natural to boast about your accomplishments. Nevertheless, a good leader is one who knows his or her position of power, but doesn't have to flaunt it. So, so maybe now we're looking at it as this is a power move. You're around some people, maybe they try to knock you down, but you standing in your power. And I say, touche on that. But as the king and being strategic, it's not just this moment. It's balancing that power with humility. It won't come back to bite you as quick as if you just slinging this blade because you're just slinging this blade or slinging your tongue because you're feeling insecure, or you're not just slinging that blade because you're impatient. You're not just slinging this blade because you just don't trust these folks. And all those things can be true. But this is saying here that you know how to handle things with grace and humility. Do so. What's that saying? Kill it with kindness. That's it. That's the saying. That's what I was looking for. So I pulled a crystal. Everything to me is in earth. So let's see how this supports the message here. And overall, it's like, hey, act with humility. Be mindful of what you say, even if you're around people you don't trust. So we got the bloodstone. This is about perseverance. And nourish your blood and revitalize your whole body. So this might be a good time for some detoxification and the chaos, to have it transmuted. Perseverance is needed. Locked doors open. Obstacles are swept away. If there's a romance that could be blossoming. Is that what this is about? All of it has to do with the relationship. Recognize your enemies and keep them close. Even like it says, if you're around people you don't trust, you know what to do. And be aware so that you're not deceived. If a farewell is called for, mourn appropriately and let go. You are a spiritual warrior. Be assertive. She is a spiritual warrior. But you have to be able to listen to the right person and not cut off your ear and damage your relationship. So in this particular instance, you cut with your mouth, because this is in reverse. You cut something and you could damage a relationship if that's what this is about. Because it could be relationship, it could be business, it could be family. Since this is general, you have to see how it applies. But whatever it takes, perseverance. And since you're the king, you're going to do it with some humility. Now, we were saying romance, but here, now the trees, this is the apple tree, and this is about romantic love. And by giving love, you will be showered by love in return. Love is to see good in all things. That's the King of Pentacles. He knows his worth. And if this is romantic love, because, you know, we could look at things and romanticize it. So maybe if this applies to a creative endeavor that you're seeking, this is going to keep you grounded, but I mean, you're opening your heart to your passions. So it could be in the material world, and it could be a romantic relationship. Either way, you know, you're going to have to persevere with humility. Now, I pulled 2 chakra cards, and the first one here is the root chakra, perfection. You know, this is what do you need to feel safe? Your physical energy. Are you seeking perfection? And you know, and we know nothing's perfect. I guess let's think about that 80-20 rule, or what, you know, that may be good. So there's nothing perfect. That's what we have to come to the realization. There's nothing perfect. But what do you need to feel secure? What do you need to feel safe? And as the King of Pentacles has pointed out here, you know, your confidence, your strength, your charisma, these are things that'll help you if you're looking for a job or a business relationship. Don't be haughty. You know, you have a lot to manage. But nevertheless, be mindful of who you're listening to, who you're talking to. And as I said, keep your enemies close. So maybe that's why you may be feeling out of balance here. So I would suggest that make sure you're getting proper sleep, that you're eating plenty of root vegetables, or getting physical exercise and proper sleep and protein. You know, you need the protein. Now, the next chakra card we have is self-mastery. And when I look at this card, I also think about that King of Pentacles, because the King is the master. The King is in control of his responses. The King is very strategic. The King is very protective and fierce. So the King has to make sure he's always aligned. He has to make sure that he's aligned, because a lot of people depend on the King. And this particular chakra, the solar plexus, you know, I would definitely say get out in the sun and do some walking. You know, this is like your personal power, your strength. What do you need to make sure that this is healthy and in balance? Feel inspired to express to others and ourselves freely, to shine in the light. So pulling this card this is a powerful time of self-mastery. You know, life is constantly offering us lessons and different opportunities to grow and stretch and expand our soul. So you're called upon to master your gifts at this time. So being blessed with this card indicates that you already are on your way. I mean, I would say so. You got that King of Pentacles over there. And know that current challenges are undergoing a hope. You know, make sure you not to lose focus and courage and love. This is what's required for you to move forward. And being encouraged to look at your life's mission, plant new seeds at this moon, are required to bring you closer to your soul's path. So the key here is to stay motivated, even though you may feel that, I don't know if it is jealousy that you're feeling, jealousy, because this could be jealousy. I don't know if you're, feeling that mistrust, but the overall message here is, this is a powerful implication of your strength and strategy. Let me move that closer. So, do what is required. You're a mentor and people look up to you for advice. So you're very protective. This King energy, you have that energy. You are protective. Now, we got to be mindful again. This new moon coaxes out that fight or flight mode so you can make a more reasonable response. So we don't want to be triggered by the emotions of like jealousy. We don't want to be triggered because we feel impatient or we feel that we're in a situation where we really can't trust people. We want to be able to persevere. And maybe some form of detoxification would be good at this new moon. Persevere and recognize, be aware of your enemies, because remember, upright, she listened to really an enemy and she cut off her ear and she lost her man. So here, you don't want to be motivated by jealousy. You want to look at that and say, okay, this is someone that could trigger me in a negative way. And this mistrust, God is just saying, if you're in a situation where you feel mistrust or you feel impatient or there's some stagnation, Spirit is just telling you to pause here and get yourself back in balance before you move forward. Use your charm and your wits. And if it is a romantic love you seek, by being loving, you don't have to let everyone know you think they're a jerk or whatever. But being loving, being charismatic, showing that charm, basically using your strategy, you can overcome a situation. In order for you to feel secure, just make sure, that you're getting your proper rest, eating your proteins, eating some root vegetables, getting some good exercise. Take care of yourself. There is no such thing as perfection. It's being secure in who you are and accepting that and then moving forward from that position. And this is the solar plex chakra. So get out in the sun and be that King of Pentacles, because the King is the self-mastery. But I strongly urge you to get out in the sun. The spring is here, and you got to let some fresh air, new ideas come in. And this getting in that fresh air, getting out in that sun, that'll definitely help alleviate maybe some of that anxiety you may be feeling, or those jealous emotions, or the desire to you swing that knife and say something that you can't take back. But through all of this, remember, you may have a lot to manage at this time, and you got trying to keep your hands in all different pots, but know that you're a good leader And one who knows his or her position of power doesn't have to flaunt it. Alright? Know your power. So Taurus, let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe. And again, this is for your sun, moon, or rising. Give me a thumbs up. This is Sister Omi. Peace.